On to investigating Google. Facebook board member Peter Thiel calling for the CIA and FBI to investigate whether Chinese intelligence has infiltrated the tech giant. He also slammed Google's seemingly treasonous, it's a quote, links to China. Here's what Peter Thiel told Tucker Carlson last night.
The weird fact that's indisputable is that Google is working with Communist China, but not with the U.S. military on its breakthrough AI technology. Is that? Well, that's the question. I mean, I think one explanation is they figure they have to, because if they don't give it to them through the front door, it'll get stolen through the back door. So first answer is they have to, and then I think, of course, there's probably a broad base of Google employees that are ideologically super left wing.
Here's what Peter Thiel told Maria Bartiromo back in April.
So is that the most important impact, the military, in terms of the use of AI?
It's a super important part that's not discussed enough. I think there was a big controversy last year where the Google employees refused to work on Project Maven, where they'd use AI to help the U.S. military in various ways. And I actually think that we should be grateful for them to have not done this, because it at least surfaced the issue that this is a military technology, and it's a really important one for the U.S. Not to lose the race on.
Joining me now is Fox News senior strategic analyst, chairman of the Institute for the Study of War, retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, just your initial response to what Peter Thiel is talking about with Google and the potential risk of its work with China.
Well, certainly that's there. I mean, I share his concern. Any major company doing business with China is subject to intellectual property theft. That whether they're complicit, that's another matter. The fact that they were doing business with the Communist Chinese military absolutely invites penetration by the CCP of Google's intellectual property. And I'm assuming many, many attempts took place. Listen, if the Chinese communists can penetrate the U.S. defense industry, which is building nuclear-powered submarines, and penetrate that, one of our most classified programs we have in the United States, believe me, they were in a full-court press to penetrate Google. All that said, I am confident that the FBI, who's involved in counterintelligence, is already there. While he's making a request, I'm confident the FBI has been involved with Google for some time.
What about also the issue that Peter Thiel brought up that we have raised on this very program in the past, that Google employees refused to allow the company to work on Project Maven with the Defense Department, where they were using artificial intelligence to help the U.S. military? They don't believe in protecting, in supporting the very individuals that protect our freedoms. Freedoms that gave rise to this very company, but they willingly will work in China.
Yeah, I mean, that is a stunning occurrence. I think it's somewhat unprecedented to have a major company like that, its employees, not want to participate in the defense industry. And understand, we have these weapons, these incredibly capable machines. Why do we have them? We have them because we want to deter war. And that worked post-World War II for 40 years with the Soviet Union. And we're trying to do that now with Russia and with China. We want to have military capability to prevent war from happening. Why wouldn't employees in Google be interested in something like that? I mean, it's very shallow on their part just to look at a weapon system and say, I don't want to be involved in the development of that. Yet the same company, no objection, by the way, from the same employees, when Google is helping the Chinese Communist military develop their capability. That is stunning, and it's outrageous, I think, and they deserve to be called out on it.
I want to move on to the Iranian nuclear deal. You and Senator Lindsey Graham writing a piece for the Wall Street Journal on this, entitled, "Call Iran's Bluff with an Offer of Nuclear Power." In it, you write Iran could be allowed, in concert with their Arab neighbors, to operate reactors and produce nuclear power. If Iran wants peaceful nuclear power, fine. But under this plan, the regime would not have the ability to enrich, reprocess, or fabricate its own nuclear fuel. Do you think that this actually happens, General?
Well, in full disclosure, I'm involved in a commercial activity to secure nuclear power plants, not anything to do with Iran, obviously. But our point is simply this. The Iranians have claimed for 20-plus years that they're interested in civil nuclear energy, and that's why they want nuclear power. I mean, nothing to do with weaponization. So our suggestion, Senator Graham and myself, is when the Trump team eventually sits down, and I think this will happen, to talk to the Iranians, put that deal on the table. If this is what you're truly interested in, okay, you can have civil nuclear energy, but no enrichment. You buy it just like everybody else does, and we'll have an inspection anytime, any place, anywhere. And the Arabs will do the same, and I think the Arabs would comply with that. The Arabs are only interested in weaponization if the Iranians did it. What we're trying to avoid, Dagan, and this is really important for our viewers to understand, we do not want a nuclear arms race in the most volatile neighborhood in the world, in the Middle East, where there has been continuous conflict. We don't want those nations there having nuclear weapons and their fingers on those kind of buttons. That would be a nightmare scenario for the world, and we've got to avoid that. That would be the starting point. Now, are our eyes wide open about the Iranians? Of course they are. Do they want nuclear weapons? Of course they do. But we've got to make certain that they don't move in that direction. Let's put a deal on the table that says just that, and let's see what they come up with.
How soon do you think that could happen, General?
I think the Iranians are going to play out all their options before they sit down with the president. I don't believe they're in a position to do that now because their playbook, you see that what they're exercising, and that is they're busting the nuclear deal by extorting and blackmailing the Europeans to provide economic assistance. They're going to play that out over a number of months, and then they may go back, if that doesn't work, and I don't think it will, to military provocations, which blew up in their face because we caught them at it, but they may go back and do that again. When they exhaust all of these options and the economic sanctions which are crippling them continue to take hold, then I believe they'll be ready to talk. But I think we're some time from that yet.
General, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for seeing the world for us, General Jack Keane.
Good talking to you, Dagan.